One of the best ways to make a curry luxurious is by adding seafood. And today I'm going to show you how to make a prawn curry recipe. It's very easy to put together and it's definitely going to be a hit at the house. As usual, ingredients in the description below, and please don't forget to subscribe. First, gather all your spices. So that's your turmeric, chilli powder, garam masala, as well as coriander powder. Next, finely dice your onion, and you can do this by cutting some slits across the onion both ways and then flipping on its side and chopping away. You will see that it creates some very fine cuts of the onions. This ensures that you don't have too large chunks of onions in your curry and they sort of dissolve away. Do the same thing with your tomato. So cutting it across one way, turning it around, repeating that same step, then flip it on its side and chop away. In the case of the tomato, it helps to create a very creamy sauce. Repeat the same steps if you're using 2 medium tomatoes, then cut slits along the chili if you're using and set aside. Then finally chop a bunch of fresh coriander. Heat up a few tablespoons of oil in a frying pan and add your onions, and you want to gently fry them until they become golden. You don't necessarily want them to brown, but literally just to become slightly translucent. Then add your green chilies and fry them until they become fragrant, which should take about a minute. Then add your tomatoes and gently fry them until the juices are released. Add a teaspoon of salt, and then you can adjust your salt to taste later on, which you are then going to follow with a teaspoon of minced ginger and garlic paste. You can also use the fresh stuff if you prefer. Then make sure you mix that well with the contents of your pan. You can now add all your dry spices to your pan, but make sure you mix quite well and add water as soon as possible to prevent the spices from burning. Your sauce will thicken up very quickly, so you can now add your prawns, which will also release some juice. Mix well and make sure that it really is incorporated into your sauce. As soon as your prawns begin to cook and change color, add your coconut milk. Give it a few stirs with a spoon, then cover with a lid and let that cook for about 5 minutes, just long enough for the sauce to thicken up. Your curry should now be ready, and you will see that your sauce has really thickened up quite well, and it has taken a lovely red but very rich color. And it simply is delicious to serve with some rice or some bread. The choice is yours. And there you go, my friends. This was my recipe for homemade prawn curry.